Yeah, don't.
Hey guys, this is Amy Reeder and Brandon Montclare, and we're bringing you a Podcorn video cast.
That's a new voice for you.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Cool.
But it's the same words.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm not too interesting.
No.
But hi everybody. If you are new to Podcorn, it's the two of us. We created Rocket Girl, so that's part of why we podcast together. We're friends too, so we figure we come together and talk about the creator perspective on comics.
Yeah, and the news today, tuning in, just our new Marvel book got announced.
Yeah.
Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which was up until very recently called Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl, but they flipped it.
Yeah, do you think that was official, that they had called it another thing before?
Yeah, remember they switched it?
See, I just felt like I was always calling it like that dinosaur thingy, Devil Dino. So I would just kind of name it that, but
no,
yeah.
I think the powers that be at Marvel really wanted to push
Moon Girl.
So
they put her first in the title, which is pretty cool.
That's it.
But yeah, so that was just announced today, and we're pretty excited about it. We're co-writing the book. I'm doing covers. Natasha Bustos, who is this up-and-coming, very amazing artist, she's going to be drawing it.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it here on Podcorn and other places, but some of the promo art you can see, we have Amy's cover. If you do a search, you'll see some of Natasha's sketchbook stuff.
Yeah.
But as soon as it starts rolling in, I'm sure we'll share a lot more of Natasha's artwork for it.
Yeah.
Amy does all the drawing on Rocket Girl. Was working on Batwoman before that, Supergirl, Madame Xanadu, a million other things. Mm-hmm. So very sensitive to say, well, it's really, and I write for Amy on Rocket Girl, and so from both of us, very much a sensitivity that, hey, the artist has to come first. So we're very excited, and people are congratulating us, and really, it's great. But we hope to make it Natasha's book. So
yeah, people seem to be pretty excited about her stuff, though.
Yeah, and she, like I said, she only just came on board very recently, so she was the last piece.
Yes,
so she's coming up to speed, and it's going to be fantastic. I mean, even just a few things that she's turned in was great. I did a short story with her. Greg Lockard put her on my radar, and she did a Strange Sports Stories #3, a short story in that a couple months ago for Vertigo. And like I said, super happy to have her at Marvel.
Yeah. So basically, also I've noticed that she was telling me that she's actually a fan of the original Jurassic Park. She wasn't too excited about Jurassic World. No. But she was like really, really into Jurassic Park. Yeah. So
well, I mean, Jurassic World made $40 bazillion, right? But still,
yeah.
I don't. Does anyone like it more than they like the original? You know what I mean?
I feel like it's weird that they can't find a better actor than that girl with the nostrils in that first movie. That girl where she's like that was like terrifying, you know what I mean? So
the little girl?
Yeah, the little girl. And she's been the best actor in the whole like franchise.
Oh, so you're saying that she wasn't? You're saying you can't find better, meaning that?
Yeah. Like she was really good, but like why can't they find anybody that can act better than her? I mean, she's great, but you know.
Who do you like better, Sam Neill or Star-Lord?
Who's Sam Neill?
He was the dude from the first.
He was the park.
Yeah.
Or Star-Lord?
Yeah. He's
How do they
guy.
Even compare? Sam Neill wasn't supposed to be hot in that.
No.
No.
He had like a pith helmet and a lot of knowledge, but you don't find that sexy, I guess.
He wasn't supposed to be knowledgeable. It was.
What are you talking about? He was like Mr. Dinosaur.
No, he was like he just showed up.
What?
No, like wasn't it that one guy that's Mr. Smarty Pants in every movie? Not Christopher Walken, but what's that guy's name?
No, Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. Jeff
Goldblum was like a mathematician.
Okay.
And Sam Neill, he was a paleontologist. He was like Mr. He was Mr. Raptor.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to get to work on your Jurassic Park.
I don't know.
If you're going to be writing Devil Dinosaur.
Sorry, guys.
What's this?
Actually, I'm supposed to borrow one soon. Yours can't stand up. I have one too. This is Brandon's toy T-Rex.
Yeah, when I got to come up with story ideas.
Yeah,
so Jurassic Park, she's a big fan of the original.
Yeah. So I feel like we picked the right person, basically.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool stuff. And like, it was really developed for a very long time at Marvel. It's at least, I was like looking back at some emails. It was at least in like early February that we were talking about it. But so it's great that's finally come out.
Yeah.
But it was a long, it was exactly what direction it was going to be. It's funny because we go in and we had just a meeting with Marvel, and we said, "Oh, there might be some cool stuff." And I don't think we even discussed anything else.
Not really. Like when you left, because you had to leave early, we kind of talked about some other possibilities, but I couldn't remember any of them because I'm not good with like the Marvel universe. So I was like, bleh.
For people who don't know, Devil Dinosaur obviously is an old character created by Jack Kirby, who created everything, right? Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer and I don't know, Spider-Man maybe, or maybe that was Ditko. They say who drew that guy first, but Hulk, most of the Avengers, Captain America. So Devil Dinosaur he created like in 1978, kind of towards the end of his return to Marvel, and he was still working past that. But one of his last original creations, and it only lasted 9 issues, and it was about a big dinosaur that would fight other dinosaurs while cavemen jumped around. And it had a Moon Boy character who was this little savage companion.
So it was only 9 issues, and people remember it that well?
Well, listen, it's comic books. They remember everything that ever happened, and especially by Jack Kirby, right?
Yeah.
So they said, hey, you want to do Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl? And it was almost the same exact thing as when I said, Amy, let's do a book called Rocket Girl, which we've talked about in the past. But I was just throwing, like, I wasn't even saying let's do Rocket Girl. When Amy and I were looking for a project to do together after we did a book called Halloween Eve, as the legend goes, which is true, I said, hey, you can't just do a book like called Rocket Girl, and just because it has a cool name, you have to have a concept. It was kind of, my way of, circling a topic. And Amy's like, what? Rocket Girl? That sounds so cool. I think when Panicia and Emily Shaw, Mark Panicia and Emily Shaw at Marvel, said
he just said Devil Dinosaur
and Moon Girl, then
no,
I think it's
I don't think he said Moon Girl at first. Like he just said Devil Dinosaur, and I was like, Not that I don't like dinosaurs, but I don't know. But then as soon as he was like, well, yeah, and there was like a character named Moon Boy, and it would be cool if we had like a Moon Girl. And I was like, oh, and could she be like I didn't know that Moon Boy was from back in time,
right?
But yeah, as soon as I found that out, I was like, should be modern, and they're like, that's exactly what we want, So
yeah, because I think they want it to be part of Marvel continuity, you know, and part of the universe that's shared. So yeah, we were off to the races, but it took a long time to kind of get through all that. Yeah, and it's great that's finally announced. It's great to have Natasha on board, and a lot of artists. I mean, like I said, I don't mean to be. It's funny because you give they have a list of guys. You always have a list of people you want to work with, and Natasha was always on the list. There were other people. It just took a long time to kind of sift through everybody.
Yeah,
everyone's like, oh, it's my first choice, and like I said, everyone had 5 first choices, I guess, and so we're just happy that it all fell together. And Natasha, who's done, like I said, did a short story with me, is doing a filler that's not out yet, Spider-Woman 10, which is out soon.
Yeah.
So you should definitely check that out. And then she's done a lot of stuff.
Covers and...
Yeah, well, I'm saying she's done a lot of kind of, I don't know what the market is. She's from Spain, Barcelona, I think. And so she's done stuff over there. I don't know if that would be considered indie over there or her own stuff. But you can definitely,
cool.
Google it and find a lot of stuff. But...
I need to learn Spanish.
Yeah, just
That's
because
what I'm learning.
of... Yeah.
Well, yeah, she makes a lot of updates in Spanish. And like, I don't know why I haven't tried to learn Spanish yet, because I love learning languages.
Yeah.
But now I'm like unendingly curious. I know you can press the translation button, but that's not enough for me.
Yeah.
So I might have to start learning Spanish.
So what do we got?
We have some
questions.
Some questions.
What's up?
Let's see. So Hito DeCambria asks, how will Moon Girl affect the Rocket Girl book schedule-wise? Is there a possibility of a Moon Girl and Rocket Girl crossover?
Nice.
Can people hear like on the audio?
I don't
or do we have
think
to repeat?
so.
The question is, Moon Girl is going to affect the Rocket Girl schedule is part A, and B, are they going to team up? They'll only team up like when Amy does commissions at conventions.
Yeah, you're
I mean, it would be. Well, I think I'm never say never. Who knows, right? But obviously, it's a Marvel property. So
they both are girls.
Yeah, well, Rocket
They
Girls.
could call it Moon and Rocket.
Well, they are very similar. It's like funny because
Rocket to the Moon.
We were just saying, okay, well, this
Rocket to the Moon Girl.
This is going to have some time travel elements, and Rocket Girl is all about time travel. And then it's like, well, almost like Madame Xanadu was kind of a time travel book also. And then we have a book called Moon Girl and a book called Rocket Girl. That's not very different. But the more important, the more important question, the schedule. No, we're definitely behind on Rocket Girl.
Sorry
about
that.
It's our labor of love and always our priority. Sincerely.
Yeah, it really, it's my full-time job. I've turned down a ton of stuff in this past year. I don't know why I've been as late as I have been, but I'm working to solve the situation. I have a workspace now, and just basically trying to get these issues done. So
yeah, and Amy's doing covers, which is something of a conflict. Today
covers.
Was a conflict because we were both so excited checking Twitter. And, trending on Twitter. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Yeah,
so.
But by and large, I don't want to speak for you, but you could talk about it.
No,
how
it's true.
Different parts of your brain do different things. So.
It does. It's true, but also, it's not a huge commitment. Yeah. And really, I'm trying. Part of the reason I'm doing it is to complement Rocket Girl, and to also because it's always good to get new readers in, and since I've been late and stuff, it's nice to have something out on the shelves so that it can keep Rocket Girl afloat. But also,
if we can make Rocket Girl a little better, we both tend to do that, which then adds to the delays.
It's true,
because we look at Rocket Girl as something that we want to be a perfect vision when it's done, right?
I really do want. Yeah, I want it to be a little treasure for people to have.
So as frustrating as that is for the fans sometimes, that's the reason for it. Plus, again, Amy's not going to say, "Well, I'll get a colorist to help, or we'll get a letterer to help." That's stuff, or we'll get somebody else to design the book. That's something that we completely control and do ourselves, and just has to be because we want it that way. It's nice to switch gears even to work for Marvel because it's not just that Amy's not going to be drawing it, which is 90% of the issue or 95% of the issue.
Yeah.
But even that other 5 to 10%, where it's like, it's the editor's job to get it out on time. We'll get we'll make our deadlines on scripts, and Natasha's the one who has to get the art in, and whoever else is doing production on that book will be part of it. But there's something nice to be said of having to meet a schedule. It's like a different way of doing business, so to speak. And that's kind of, we're not going to sit on the script for Devil Dinosaur because we're trying to get it perfect. Part of it is you have to rock and roll it, which is good, like I said, and I say rock and roll as a perfectly valid art form. You know what I mean? It's just like sometimes it's better not to make things too precious, but Rocket Girl is very precious to us.
Yeah,
probably too precious.
But anyway, so yeah, it shouldn't affect it too much. As I said, I'm really focusing on Rocket Girl a lot. If you check on Twitter, I often show process stuff. So if that warms your heart a little bit, so that you know that it's happening and stuff, please definitely check out Twitter.
Yeah, and 7's coming out next month.
Yep.
And then we're gonna talk to Image and kind of look at the retailer stuff and see. Yeah, do we let it dribble out, or do we kind of put 8, 9, and 10 in the bank and then kind of end the second arc in a bang? Which is really kind of the first story we wanted to tell with these characters. We collected 1 through 5, but it's really 1 through 10 that we're super concerned about, and 11 when it comes will be a completely different mindset for us.
Yeah,
but 7's coming next month. We're going to be at New York Comic Con and every place else, but that's something we want to have there. It'll be a few weeks before Devil Dinosaur comes out, so in November. Yeah.
Yep. Another question?
Yeah. So this was technically just answered in the chat, but I figured this would be a good way for Amy to talk a little bit about her past. You made your fame and fortune as an artist.
Fame and fortune as an artist.
ADP asks, is this your first writing gig on a comic?
It's my well, the first thing I ever did in comics, I was writing and drawing for myself. This is the first time that I've ever been a writer for somebody else, and it's really intimidating actually, because since then I haven't written at all, and it's something that I've really badly wanted to get back into, mostly to write for myself eventually at some point. So that was part of the attraction of doing this. It wasn't just a cover gig, it was something that I could be more involved in, and And it's nice to have Brandon on my side, especially with a Marvel book and continuity. But yeah, no, this is my first time, and I feel really adamant about doing things that play to Natasha's strengths, and I really want to see, you know, what she adds to it. But yeah, it's kind of an adventure. Hopefully I'll do okay.
Yeah. And to both of those questions, and kind of also just the business of comics, which we talk about here sometimes, Amy is, you know, don't blush. She's an egomaniac, so she won't blush, but is in very high demand. If Amy is often offered, not just interiors, but covers and everything she's offered, but certainly cover gigs.
Yeah, a lot of cover gigs.
I don't mean to, she's in a very lucky position, a position you've earned, but a very lucky position that if you called up Marvel, if you called up DC, if you called up Vertigo, if you called up Valiant, go down the list and said, I want a regular monthly cover gig, you would have something. They'd call you back in a couple of hours with a few options, and they say, you want to do A, B, C, or D, right? So,
I don't know how many hours it would take.
It might be okay.
But yeah, I would.
I don't know how many hours.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know if they'd be like, hold the horses.
Right.
Amy's calling. Yeah, I don't think it's that, but yeah, they all are hoping that.
I mean, it might take 3. Anyway, the point being, so Amy as a creator and as somebody who is committed to doing her own thing on Rocket Girl.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
you have no idea how many things I've said no to.
Yeah. But it was a strategy. Yeah. Saying, listen, I can do covers, you know, maybe on a Spider-Man book, maybe on a Batman book, maybe on an X-Men book.
And those are all really cool.
High profile. But if I'm going to spend the time to do cover work, I want to be more creatively involved. So
something that can expand my career, basically.
Let's talk to a few editors. You didn't even need me. Some of the stuff maybe made sense that we do together, and Devil Dinosaur was one of those. But some of the stuff you could have maybe felt comfortable doing all by your lonesome. Yeah. But the point being, let's talk to some editors and see where I can be creatively involved. Do some redesign, do some writing on, and you know, sometimes you need to take an obscure character to have that kind of freedom. Yeah. And you don't get more obscure than Devil Dinosaur. I've been joking with people, teasing them, saying, "Oh, I got a book coming out." I did a Marvel book called Fearsome 4, which was Howard the Duck before he showed up in the end credits, right? So nobody cared about Howard the Duck. Nighthawk, She-Hulk, and Frankenstein's monster with a big supporting role by Man-Thing. So I've actually found a character less popular than all of those is in Devil Dinosaur to do. So.
It's pretty nice. All those, people are pretty jazzed about it. But
but it's so many people's favorites,
I wonder if people like it just to feel special.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, my favorite, and then everybody else is like,
a lot of people are really,
that is.
A lot of people are really worried about Moon Boy. They're very anxious about, now that's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
What happened to Moon Boy?
Yeah, but Moon Boy's in it, so it's like, you know, and it's like, he's a Moon Boy everybody loves. All 4 people, but,
Moon Boy will always be Moon Boy.
It's funny, though, because they say this all the time, that you experience this. For all the people who are excited about Devil Dinosaur, so, well, why did it ever go away? Because it seems like, everyone in the whole world is like, oh my god, I've been waiting forever for Devil. I love Devil Dinosaur. It's like, yeah, okay, well.
I really think it's an obscurity thing, not to offend anybody. Yeah. But
no, the present company excluded.
Yeah, you guys know what's up. Yeah. Yeah. Did you have something else, Alex, or?
Oh no.
Okay,
no.
Cool. Sorry.
Devil Dinosaur, a dude or a dinosaur or a lady dinosaur?
Is Devil Dinosaur a dude dinosaur or a lady dinosaur?
Well, in Jurassic Park,
they were all women.
But then they mutated or something. I don't know, or something happened.
They were just magical women.
Yeah, but didn't they make some? Well, wasn't there a long speech by Jeff Goldblum about like life prevails, it finds a way.
Life finds a way.
So somehow
that sounds like something that sounds like a quote by Woody Allen somehow.
Yeah.
Love finds a way or something.
There you go. Woody Allen's going to be in the book too. So
as a dinosaur.
As a dinosaur, that would make sense.
But I think the plan is to make him a he still.
Exactly.
I actually told Brandon at some point, I was like, can we make her a girl? And
you were
like, sure. But then I think after a while I was like, you know what? I don't really want that. Like, I don't know why, but I feel like...
Well, you're dealing with a young protagonist.
And I don't know that we could have gotten away with it either.
No, I mean, But it's, I think one of the things I'm always kind of referencing with this, it's one of a million things, but a consistency nonetheless, is like kind of girls at that age when they're 10 or 11, you know what I mean? Like before, before they start getting older and saying, oh, boys this, boys that. They go through like their horses stage, you know what I mean? So to me, it's Devil Dinosaur is kind of like the horse. So it's not quite, it's definitely not a romantic relationship, you know what I mean? But it is certainly like a bonding with a, with a bigger, larger type of animal.
And thus male?
I don't know. That's what I was going to say. So I didn't mean to make that as some kind of truism. I said, as a girl, is that a male thing or is it just
I don't know. I never had that. I didn't do that.
They say that it's common.
It is, but for some reason, like, to me, I felt excluded from the horse lovers.
The horse lovers?
Because...
Did you like My Little Pony?
I wasn't like... Yeah, I liked My Little Pony.
Right, and they're all girls.
Yeah.
Right, so...
But like, but yeah, it's like I just didn't. All the girls that liked horses were mean to me because I got picked on a lot. So
you weren't like the popular because you were from cowboy country.
Yeah, but like everybody there is very anti-cowboy.
To be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
Did your father have a string tie with turquoise
bolo tie
with turquoise details?
No, but I got you one for Christmas because you
wanted
a bolo tie.
It's called a string tie, not a bolo tie.
It's a bolo tie from Denver, and so I got it at the airport, which is the only place you can find it because that's like a tourist shop.
Did your father
I think it has turquoise, doesn't it? Or did I get cheap?
Did your father have a silver belt buckle that's commemorative of a rodeo?
No.
I don't believe you.
No.
They issue that at the airport in Denver, if you're local.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, it's funny, like it's really rare, at least, when you're in the suburbs, it's really rare to find cowboy types. There was like 3 people that we called the Cowboys in my high school. They were like a clique of 3 people.
Is it a coincidence?
Out of like 1,000 or so.
Is it a coincidence that John Elway has a horse face?
Wow. We love John Elway in Denver still to this day.
He was drafted by the Yankees, and then he couldn't come to a deal with Denver after they selected him for football, and he was like, "Well, you know what? You pay me my money."
The Yankees are football?
No, the Yankees drafted him to play baseball, and he was a big football guy. He was drafted like 5,000th by the Yankees and first by the Denver. I'm getting all the facts wrong, but it's something like that. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a negotiating tactic. He said, "You know what? I'll just go play for the Yankees if you don't give me my money because I don't want to play in Denver." He didn't want to play in Denver.
Oh yeah, he was too good for us.
Yep.
Well, you know what? That high altitude stuff really helps train people. That's why
nobody's more famous.
The Olympics teams, they train in Colorado Springs. It's that high elevation. It keeps your lungs nice and healthy.
Who's second? We all know that John Elway is the most famous man in Denver. Who's second?
Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, is she from Denver?
Colorado Springs.
All right. Well, same thing.
Or maybe it's Molly Brown. Maybe it's Molly Brown that's from there.
Who's Molly Brown?
The unsinkable she didn't sink in the Titanic and some other place too.
Okay.
What's her face played her in from Fried Green Tomatoes? She played her in Titanic.
I don't know what you're talking. I haven't even seen Titanic, let alone Fried Green Tomatoes.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway.
Oh, but I know who you mean. Well, her name isn't Molly Brown.
And hers like this. No, but she played Molly Brown.
No, she's the one who busted James Caan's ankles in that Stephen King movie. Who is it?
Oh yeah,
Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates, yeah.
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 There you go.
Good that we figured that out.
It's another question
by Alex.
So yeah, I don't think there really is a question. I think Alex is just trying to
save we got a few questions, so let's get through those.
Amy and Brandon, any chance to do something special with Rocket Girl on October 5th, 2015, the day that Marty would fly on a rise in the future?
I thought it was October 15th. It's October 5th? We got to check that. Because,
that's pretty cool because it'll coincide.
No, it is the 5th.
That's even better.
Yeah, it is going to coincide with the convention.
So I'm sorry, I'm not very high on the Back to the Future. So what is it? That's when he went back in time?
That's when
he went forward in time.
When he
Back
went
to the
forward
Future
in time.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Gotta
Yeah.
get forward in time.
I would say 100% we're going to do something cool and real because that's going to be like either right at Comic-Con or a couple days before.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but we don't know what, so hopefully it won't be lame.
No, it'll be something cool.
Start planning.
Yeah.
It's
That's
gonna be a party.
Something, yeah.
Do you think there's gonna be a whole lot of cosplayers of Marty McFly? I mean, you know, it's funny because I felt like people were more into this 3 years ago, and now that it's actually coming, I haven't heard a single thing.
Yeah, don't worry, we're gonna make it big.
No, but not us, like the actual Back to the Future fans.
You and I will make it big, don't worry about it.
5th is the Monday, so it's not during the con.
It's right before, a couple days before. That's even better, though.
That's cool.
Gonna get a DeLorean.
Gotta get back in time. I'm gonna get a toy DeLorean.
Yeah.
And get my toy dinosaur, because I have one of these, but it's different. It's better. And I'm gonna be like...
All right, so there you go. What year was Back to the Future 2 released?
I have no idea.
Oh, well, anyway.
Probably 88. I'm gonna go with 87 or 88.
There you go.
Um.
So it hasn't even happened yet in Rocket
89.
Girl.
Oh.
It's barely 80s.
Barely 80s.
There you go.
Was
there another
okay, what
question?
else do we have, Lou?
Alright, so what do we have next? We have... I don't know if this one is a joke or not. Didn't Moonboy end up becoming a mattress salesman in Gary, Illinois?
First of all, Gary's in Indiana, not Illinois. What happened to Moonboy? Moonboy was eaten, according to the Devil Dinosaur Nextwave, who I think was a clone of the original Devil Dinosaur. Because I don't think he really was a clone. I think it was supposed to be the real Devil Dinosaur. Well, Devil Dinosaur at one point wound up in the Savage Land. And I think currently, if you followed enough continuity, he and Moonboy were already in present times. And they may still be, just so you know. But in our story, we kind of pluck them from the past. And that's a big part of it. Yeah, so he's either in the Savage Land right now, or he's been eaten, or he's a mattress salesman in Gary, Indiana.
But yeah, issue 1 is
mattress.
going to address...
Remember 1-800 mattress, leave the last S off for savings? Is that only a New York thing, or was that international? Did that make it to Gary, Indiana? You know what I'm talking about, Mike. Yeah. Before Alex's time. And Amy doesn't know anything.
I can sing it for you, Dan.
Yeah. I don't know.
The jingle and everything.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Sing it.
I don't know if we can hear it.
M-A-T-T-R-E-S.
That's right.
Leave the last S off for savings.
That's right.
Wow. See, in
Colorado.
Colorado...
See, he's having Alex having a baby memory of riding in cars while they're playing that. Yeah.
Sean Hannity on the radio.
Leave the last S off, because it was an extra letter.
Yeah.
But they, you see that sometimes they just leave they'll just tell you to type
fit
it
it
out.
all?
Yeah, and they'll just tell you to do it anyway because it's not like anything happens.
Yeah.
But that was their thing.
Oh, I
the last,
get it.
You know why you leave the last S off? For savings.
For savings.
That's it.
In Colorado, there's a furniture store called American Furniture Warehouse, and because it was called American Furniture Warehouse, I thought it was national.
Do you leave the last E off?
And the song goes, American Furniture Warehouse, ding! And they always had lions and tigers playing around on their furniture, real ones.
Nice.
And they'd be and then the owner would be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he'd be have his arm around the tiger. Seriously, look it up, American Furniture Warehouse, but look it up later. Other questions?
But Moonboy is actually really cool and goofy, and we mentioned this a little bit in the Entertainment Weekly thing.
Should we explain to anybody who Moonboy is?
Well, Moonboy was back in caveman time. Back in dinosaur times, we were also cavemen, because Jack Kirby really didn't care about science too much. So
I know, I don't understand, because Moon Girl is really smart. She's a little genius, and so shouldn't she know that that's not true?
Don't think too hard. Moonboy was a member of a peaceful tribe called the Small Folk, who are always being harangued by the Killer Folk, who are these big cavemen. And the Killer Folk are going to actually play a very large part in the first arc of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. They get plucked from the past also.
Why are you giving away so much stuff?
Oh, what? That's not giving away anything. So it was in the EW.
Oh, okay.
EW, if you're,
Entertainment.
If you're in the biz,
Weekly.
maybe you've heard of it. It's called Entertainment Weekly. My mother thought it was Entertainment Tonight and got really excited. Yeah, exactly. I said, is that show still on, Entertainment Tonight? Is John Tesh still rocking it? But
I kept thinking it was Publishers Weekly. Who's bigger? Publishers Weekly
but
or
is there a difference
Weekly?
between, yes or no, John Tesh, Kelsey Grammer? Same guy or two different guys?
I don't know who John Tesh is.
Well, you know Kelsey Grammer? Mm-hmm. Then you know who John Tesh is.
Okay.
But, so yeah, the killer folk is going to be cool. No, it's going to be a cool sub-story. And they are going to also... I always wish, when I'm doing the kind of the drafts of the plots, to be like, oh man, more room for the killer folk. Because they're going to be really cool. They're going to be cavemen, and they're going to be the bad guys, but they're going to be very...
fun.
Very, very readable, I hope.
It'll be good.
Yeah, going to get in some trouble.
Yep.
We're about to fall down the pit of continuity, so before that, a lighter question.
Okay.
Brandon, you often get told that you look like Jeff Goldblum.
I do get often told that I look like Jeff
Really?
Goldblum. Ever since law school. I also get David Duchovny a lot, and I get
David Duchovny I can kind of
Mark
see.
Price, who used to be like a point guard for the Cavaliers when they were a terrible team. And those three guys don't look anything alike. So I don't know. I don't know what people are talking about sometimes. Exactly.
You don't look like Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. I got a face that's good for Robin Banks, as Jim Starlin once told me. Meaning nobody would, register.
Could identify you.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you're very recognizable.
There you go.
I don't know.
I think people also think I have an accent often. Like, oh, where are you from? Where's that accent from?
Yeah, you sound kind of like a news reporter or something.
Well, whatever. John Tesh, you mean?
Whatever.
Yeah. I don't know if John Tesh was like, the first entertainment news when you think about it. They got like everybody like Jon Stewart now and everything else. I mean...
We should talk more about Moon Girl.
All right. We should talk more about Moon Girl.
So, just so you guys know, so Moon Girl, she's...
well, I set it up, but we're talking about Moon Boy.
Oh, okay. But so she's going to be like the bestie of this cute.
Remember the scene in Jurassic Park?
dinosaur?
Everybody remembers it when Jeff Goldblum was like flexing because he's got his shirt ripped off, and after he got mauled by the T-Rex, and he really wants everyone to see his abs. Anyway, go on, Moon Girl.
What does that have to do with this?
We were just talking about Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park.
All right. So, but anyway, she's like super duper smart. She's like 9 years old is what I've been estimating her at.
Yeah, makes sense.
And like...
we gotta nail that down. 4th grade, is that 9?
Yeah.
Okay. Or is that 3rd grade?
It's 4th grade.
Okay.
And so she wants to get into like a special school, but she's just not making it in somehow, stuff like that. But she's kind of like an inventor type. It's also really cool. Like she's also a roller skater. I feel like that's going to be pretty fun when she's with the dinosaur. You know,
she's a roller skater in the inventor vein.
Sort of way. Like
she's not like a skater. SK the number 8.
No. She's like it's like she's like Inspector Gadget. She pushes a button, skates come out of her shoes, and she's just kind of like that. So she's so she's kind of nice because she's like I like that she's a little bit nerdy.
There you go.
Doesn't really like fit in. So anyway, that's our angle on Moon Girl.
Sounding familiar. No, but it's good to be working with. It's always cool to be working with different types of characters that you can do different things with. And say, oh, you're doing Rocket Girl, you're doing Moon Girl. There's such a huge difference between a 15-year-old and a 9-year-old.
There really is.
You know what I mean? So it's a totally different type of character to work with. It's been hyped as all ages, and it's definitely readable for any age. You know what I mean? It's not going to be offensive. It's so great to be able to work with a huge red dinosaur and the killer folk, because there's so much cartooniness built into it.
Yeah. And
you can still have action, and you could have real peril and real violence and real consequences, but there's like a vein of absurdity, like Time Bandits, you know what I mean? Or like any things that maybe you're scared of when you're a kid, but aren't really scary, and they're totally...
Because it's so
in a sense, on a level, it's innocuous enough that if you dissect it, it's all good. And of course, we can have these little folk robbing great antiquities of throughout time and being chased by the devil himself. You know what I mean? It's like, and somehow it still works. So I think you can kind of play that, and not to disparage any all ages stuff that's out there now, but it's not going to be the smarmy wink and snap, stuff that's designed for parents who want there to be kid stuff, it really will be all ages in the sense that, like I said, like a movie like Time Bandits or even like Goonies, and maybe
that's the thing. You're just listing off '80s stuff because it's like a lot of the '80s kid stuff didn't condescend.
No, I don't think SpongeBob SquarePants condescends. It's not.
SpongeBob SquarePants is for adults. Let's be real here.
Well, I don't know.
They're the same thing where they're like winking to the adults. Oh, we're making this fun for you. But
I think Bugs Bunny is brilliant and can be watched by adults too.
It can be, but it's still made for kids.
Yeah, but it's not going to be. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the.
It'll be good. It'll take itself seriously.
There's stuff that Amy and I can do that we're going to set up for Natasha to deliver on that other people can't do. So it's going to really thread the needle and be very funny, very readable,
and very original, probably.
Yeah. And it'll be an all ages book because people won't read it and say, "Oh, look, it's a dinosaur and a girl. It's all ages." And you can pick it up and definitely give it to a kid, but it's not going to read like this boring kind of trite, bland thing. It's really gonna be good. It's gonna be drawn phenomenally. It's gonna have amazing stuff, not just gags with 4 different color backgrounds and then the page is done. It's it's a sophisticated approach to a story that really, I mean, it's all ages in the truest sense. You know what I mean? Like a kid can read it and enjoy it and really think it's cool, but an adult's gonna get it and be great. You know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Is there another?
Sort of spinning off of that, ADV is wondering if Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur will be a good gateway book in the vein that Miss Marvel is a book for people without a deep knowledge of comics.
Yeah.
So ADP saying, will we know more about Moon Girl? I can't think. Is that going to mean that she's going to be a good gateway book for people that are not really reading comics? I hope so. I mean, that's usually my goal in anything that I do. But I do know that it's not like super dependent on tie-ins and stuff.
Well, yeah, certainly in the sense that you don't need to be reading the Planet Hulk now that has Devil Dinosaur, and Amy's obsessed with the enormous pubic bone. Is that that's that Mark Laming puts in the art, which is great art. It's a really
it just kept getting bigger.
It's one of the better drawn.
Actually, he was pretty good at drawing a dinosaur.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a different tone, and it's Devil Dinosaur. It's going to have the origin. It's going to go. Actually, it's going to, like I said, not to discount anything that's ever happened since, but if there is a continuity, it's a direct sequel to the Kirby stuff, and the Kirby stuff literally is just about dinosaurs fighting each other in the midst of time. You don't need to know the story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, and that's by design. Like I said, it doesn't eliminate anything else that's happened. It's just that, like I said, there's a time travel element that they're taking Devil Dinosaur from that period in his time where he was, by and large, just a regular dinosaur in the Valley of Flame, a regular red dinosaur that got all burnt up and crisped, but they do want things that we're going to add, and Amy's got her hand up. There's going to be okay, go ahead.
I thought you were going to finish, though.
Yeah.
Also, not only do we want to make it something that new people can read, but, also our editors, that's been a huge emphasis of theirs, which has been nice. We actually thought that we would have to do a lot more continuity stuff, and they just keep going, no, don't do that. We want to hear more just things about Lynella, who's our Moon Girl, and her life and her school and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's very grounded for a story about dinosaurs.
What I was going to say, and that being said, it is going to spider out into other elements, but nothing that you need to check up. There's an Inhumans element that's central to it. That's going to tie her in very closely to the Inhumans, which we won't talk about, but that'll when it comes out, that'll be something you have to read. That being said, you don't have to follow up on Inhumans. I think for a business reason, Marvel wanted kind of the strength of the Inhumans brand both ways. One, to help Devil Dinosaur, and for Devil Dinosaur to also help the Inhumans, Devil Dinosaur, and obviously Moon Girl. And it wound up being very much of a challenge because you're introducing a new character and reintroducing an old character into a new situation. and there's 2 of them, and there's all this, and there's not a lot to do, and you got to kind of get everything you want to do in the first 200 pages, you have to also do in the first 20 pages of a story, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So it's like, how are we going to fit all these in? But there's actually very interesting ways for people who do know the Inhumans, right? They lived on the dark side of the moon forever, and they have this ritual where they go through the Terrigen mist, as silly as it sounds not to get into it, and mutate and gain their powers. But with a character called Moon Girl, which again comes from just kind of a reinvention of Moon Boy, but the connection to the moon, the connection to the past, and the time of dinosaurs and everything else like that, it actually works very well into the Inhumans mythos also. So it actually a fit presented itself for us creatively. But there's just that on top of so many other things to kind of fit, and that's been the challenge, is to make it all fit.
Yep.
But again, that's going forward, not really the starting point. From page 1 is all you need.
Yeah.
Something else?
No.
Oh, okay.
Whoa. Well, anyway.
Oh.
That's it.
Actually, now yes.
Oh.
Now yes.
Any connection to Moon Knight?
Any connection to Moon Knight? That's a good question.
No, it would be a good connection.
I wish. Moon Girl is Moon Knight's daughter.
Moon Knight and Devil Dinosaur would have been a really good pitch for somebody to send to Marvel. Bank it for 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, since this has the Inhumans connection now, is there a strong possibility for Miss Marvel?
Is there a possibility for Ms. Marvel and Moon Girl? Everybody wants it, including us, as soon as they hear it, because everybody wants to touch Kamala Khan, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's of course,
yeah,
we're
of
huge
course
fans of that book.
Character. Yeah. So who knows?
No immediate plans. even there's that romance comic coming out, and it's going to be why am I blanking on the new Ghost Rider's name? Robbie Reyes and Kamala Khan are going to be in
They
love.
Are?
Well, yeah, because there's this whole.
I always thought Robbie was a lot older.
Well, whatever.
Like 18, and she's like, well, no,
yeah,
I guess
she's like 16.
Yeah. Weird.
So, so no plans, but if anyone gave us the opportunity, we'd work it in right away because it would be cool. And I think and that's the type of thing. We'll see how far Rocket Girl, see how far Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur go. We do have a couple of cool crossovers and ideas, and like I said, not just the Inhumans angle, but other things that we've talked about. It's a matter of, are they all going to fit and where and everything else. But just kind of natural. Wouldn't it be great if Lunella met up with X, Y, and Z? So we're going to be doing that. Yep. And so it's out in November. I don't think they've given the official date yet. But, just stay tuned.
Yeah.
Tell your comic shops you want it.
Indeed.
If you're not near a comic shop, you can get it on Comixology, I'm sure, when it's coming out. But stay excited. And you know what? If you haven't read anything else by us, you can go to Rocket Girl. 6 issues to catch up on.
That's right.
Get those on Comixology also, or the first 5 were collected. And then you can get issue 6 out there still as well.
Yes.
We also did a book called Halloween Eve once.
True.
I said,
one-shot that's extra long. It's like 32 pages, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, and Natasha and I did Strange Sports Stories number 3 by Vertigo just a little while ago. So
short story about sumo wrestlers.
Yeah, and a deal with the devil. So kind of a Faustian sumo wrestling story. A masterpiece in 8 pages, if I do say so myself. And then we're going to be broadcasting something every Thursday, 7:30. So tune in. We'll talk about comics. We'll talk about old comics that we like, new comics that we like, the business, all that jazz, right?
All that jazz.
We're going to be talking about All That Jazz, the Queen album. Well, the Queen album is just jazz. That's Alex Liu's favorite Queen album.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how well I know that, actually. We'll have to talk.
The best song on jazz being All That Jazz. Is that the...
All That Jazz!
Is that the Roger Taylor song that he gets 1 per album? I think it is. What? Come on.
The machine of a dream. Such a clean machine. That's his one from Night at the Opera. With the pistons a-pumping.
Oh, God, the car song.
And the hubcaps are all gleam. I'm holding your wheel. Oh, here is your deal. I'll hand on your Greek mirror. Ooh, it's like a disease, son. I'm in love with I'm in love with my car. Got a feel for my automobile.
It's amazing that Queen didn't carry on after Freddie Mercury died. Like, they could have just had Roger Taylor sing all the songs.
Yeah. Well, he kind of stopped after a while, didn't he? Or did he keep having like one a thing?
I feel somehow he was like, you know, yeah, they always gave him one.
You know that 39 is basically plot beat Interstellar.
In the year of 39. Plot beat for plot beat what?
Interstellar.
Oh.
That's for Nolan's movie.
Oh. Is it?
Yeah. That's cool. That was more like obviously a Freddie Mercury song on the album, but Brian Taylor would sing it. Not Brian Taylor. Brian May would sing it sometimes. Brian Taylor was a left-handed pitcher for the Yankees.
Don't you hear me calling you? I bet it's all in the right key too, because I've listened to that album so many times that I think I sing them all in the right keys.
So please download "I'm in Love with My Car" and anything else that you can think of.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Amy Reeder. He's at B Montclair.
That's right. Thanks as always to
Spanx as always.
Spanx as always to the captain of the ship, Michael Firth. He's at the Comic Archive.
Captain Michael.
Also on YouTube at the Comic Archive. Lots of old content for you to check out. Amy almost chopped my head. Almost scalped me.
I guess I gotta go like this. Yeah.
And Alex, helping out and hanging in there at Wax and Wings.
Muchos gracias.
Yeah. Also, you know, help. You're like basically Commander Riker of the Comics Beat now.
Currently, yes.
That's it. That's I think his official title.
I had to go ahead and change the message again.
So yeah, all right. And you want Rocket Girl stuff? RocketGirl.nyc.
Rocket Girl saves the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Trade paperbacks, posters, T-shirts.
Yep.
Yeah, cool stuff. And like I said, not too far off from New York Comic Con. We'll see you all there.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to be there in full force. So hope you can all say hi.
Yes, indeedy.
All right. Anything else on the sign off, or we're all good?
Do you want to call Jordan Bayer 15th brother?
No.
No, thank you.
Nope,
all right.
Maybe next time. All right. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Is there a fade out, or is it just a cut?
Bye. 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 Bye.